Assalamu alaikum everyone. We have the band Zarf here at the studio and we've just finished production on their song Pardah, which they've done here with us. And yeah, we're just going to talk to them a little bit about the band and the song. So how are you guys?
All good. आप कैसे हो?
Good. So let's start with like Zarf का मतलब क्या है और मतलब ये band का नाम कहाँ से है?
I think मतलब इसका वैसे अगर देखें तो it's like a deep vessel, a vessel that has something deep in it. But हम लोगों ने नाम initially नहीं रखा था, हमारा पहले नाम change था. पहले हमारा नाम था In Colors.
अच्छा.
Then we later on changed कि यार हमें उर्दू नाम रखना चाहिए. Because In Colors doesn't sound go with the music as well.
Shout out to that guy who
suggested
this, yeah, he was like यार In Colors नाम का there's a German band. If I'm trying to find you or something तो हमें German, I'm like too international.
Yeah.
Let's not.
So then we put out a story and with a few names, we selected 4-5 names, we put out a story.
Yeah.
और story पे voting के लिहाज से फिर we also go with that Zarf. अच्छा पहले 2-3 और भी नाम थे वो मुझे याद भी नहीं है, पता नहीं क्या ईरान शरान पता नहीं क्या.
कब का like
This
how long is the band?
2020, yes.
Yeah.
In 2020 we shifted the name. उस poll के ऊपर majority people said Zarf, so you're like Zarf, so Zarf, there it is. Then we decided कि अब उसके साथ कुछ analogy जोड़ते हैं. क्या है ये, किस तरह है ये. फिर turns out कि whatever music we did और अभी तक जो हमने release किया है, जिंदगी itself, talk about a vessel, talk about a journey or something, so it goes quite well with the name itself.
Nice. So you guys have done, I believe, an album.
Yeah.
And Pardah is kind of the start of the
start
second
of the
album cycle.
Yeah, another new venture itself.
Sound is, I mean, the aesthetics and the sound of Pardah is quite different. I mean, not just because it's been produced here in a different place with a different producer.
So shout out to you guys. Basically, Pardah, जो है Pardah, we knew that Pardah is going to sound something heavier than usual. For what
from what we were doing,
from what we have done, you guys will definitely hear something very different from if you have heard our album and everything. Please do check it out. It's on Spotify. So Pardah is very different, and we knew that we need someone who will think it in a different perspective and will probably catch that eye. So the thing that I mentioned you in our first meeting, I was very by DA method का भी काम सुनना बहुत अलग और बहुत level का काम है. तो DA method से I knew कि soundscape के इधर ही जाएगा. And Umair is going to be that guy who's going to catch that thing. क्योंकि ये किधर जा रहा है. तो ना shout out to you guys. उस गाने को scene on.
For me, my first exposure to you guys was seeing you at Club 432.
Yeah.
There was a show which I was doing the sound.
Like,
I rarely do actually. But इत्तेफाक से उस दिन मैं कर रहा था.
Yeah.
और Pardah was the song that stood out for me.
Yeah.
And I remember I think I asked you guys कि ये अभी released है या अभी होना है. तो तब भी मैंने कर लिया था मार्क के भाई इसको मैंने प्रोड्यूस करना
वो उससे पहले हो गया था. I was playing the last riff and I saw you at the sound and you were going like damn man this sound
मैंने कहा सही है ये हो गया डन हो गया.
तो पहले ऊपर कहीं spiritually yes हो गया था.
हाँ ऐसे ही होता है. Mind before matter.
Yeah. So we had an idea that this facility itself and you primarily being the producer will definitely work on it in a manner that we wanted to. तो मजा आया ये चीज करके. जो था वो जब निकला वो जब शेप अप हो गया तो लाइक.
और प्रीवियस एल्बम से इसका साउंड डिफरेंट भी है और कंपोजिशनली भी डिफरेंट है
वैसे भी.
और मतलब कोई पर्टिकुलर इसके पीछे ना कोई थॉट था हमारा कि ये अलग ही करना है, बट इट जस्ट केम आउट लाइक दैट कि वी वांट दैट साउंड एंड दैट टेक्सचर आउट.
Well, one of the things that I think I noticed from that song when I first heard it कि मुझे सुन के पता चल गया कि ये लोग जरूर कुछ ओपेट पोर्क्यूपाइन बाकी गानों से इतना वाइब नहीं आता.
Yeah, all of us have very different inspirations. Farrukh have very different inspiration. कुछ जगह हैं जहाँ हम जाके बोलते हैं कि यार ये हम दोनों को पसंद आ रहा है. तो बहुत सारे हमारे ऐसे डार्कर सॉन्ग्स भी हैं इन फ्यूचर वी आर लुकिंग टू वर्क ऑन, और हमारे ऐसे बहुत लाइट ट्रैक्स भी हैं, बैलेड ट्रैक्स भी हैं,
इवन अकॉस्टिक क्लीन.
तो आई थिंक हम लोग उस चीज़ को बड़ा बैलेंस रखना चाहते हैं कि हम वैसा काम भी करते रहें जो मेरी इंस्पिरेशन है या इसकी भी थोड़ी बहुत इंस्पिरेशन है, और वैसा काम भी करें जो इसकी मेजर इंस्पिरेशन है और मेरी भले थोड़ी इंस्पिरेशन है.
हाँ, so that keeps it varied and
yeah, that's what
it's very diverse as well. Yeah. It gives you that space कि अच्छा चलो आप क्या कर सकते हो.
And as a musician, it's exciting to playing a different type of music in the same yeah exactly.
Because आप एक जोन से दूसरे जोन में जब शिफ्ट कर रहे होते हो, वापस उस जोन में आ रहे होते तो you're always bringing new things.
Yeah.
You're always learning something from that zone, implementing there, then pitching something up and putting it over there. And में आपका ही काम है. तो
yeah, same. And also same with, I'm sure, working with different producers.
For sure, yeah. सबके बस अपने
aesthetics में चीजें add होती जाती हैं.
सिर्फ अपने सबके अपने professional ways हैं. Everyone has their own way of carving out their work. लेकिन मजा इसलिए आता है because you get to learn as an artist. कि अच्छा यार अगर ये इस तरह का जोन है तो how do you treat this one? If you're going to that side, how are you supposed to treat that one? So you keep a very thin line there as well. तो हम लोग भी बड़े उसमें easy होते हैं फिर.
Speaking of thin lines, तो पर्दा lyrically और thematically उसका
the video is crazy. Video देखना बड़ा मजा आएगा.
No, but I want to talk more about first the lyrical side, from your point of view, like what were you going through when you came up with it, and what are you trying to convey?
अच्छा, पर्दा was written good 2.5 years ago. और ना I still am slightly fanatic about world wars. तो Netflix पे I was watching this world war documentary and I was just going through this entire euphoria कि अच्छा भाई हिटलर ने किस तरह ना he turned the entire country in his favor. And और वो फिर कुछ भी कर रहे थे, everyone was in favor of what he was doing. तो उधर से निकली थी कैसा भरम था, ना तुझ में कोई शर्म थी, ना हया का पर्दा था. I was like okay fuck, this is shit, ये क्या सीन है ना. तो primarily wars, oppression, self benefits कह लें, या आप किसी state of violence, आप किसी state of power में ऐसा आ जाते हैं where you have enough power to mold things in your own favor or play God, let's per se, if you want to put
no matter what
consequences are. वो आपके favor में वो हो तो आप ही के favor में होते हैं because primarily तो आप वही चाह रहे होते हो, लेकिन वो collaterally कितना environment को ख़राब कर रहे होते हैं, क्या कर रहे होते हैं, वो एक अलग scene हो रहा होता है. तो उससे थोड़ा सा ये चीज़ होना शुरू हुई थी. फिर ironically wars started erupting across the globe. There is so much going on. तो I was like यार ये गाना क्या हो रहा है, people actually exist like those still. हाँ तो they are there. मैंने कहा तो सही है.
They've always been there.
They've always been there.
नमरूद से लेकर दज्जाल तक.
They've always been there.
सफर है.
तो war, violence, इस तरह के oppression and ये वो, but it's like a cry call, I guess. I would say कि बंदा कहता है कि यार the fuck
this should stop now.
हाँ मतलब यार क्या लगे पड़े हो, मतलब you won't do anything. जैसे वो ना आगे आप लोग सुनेंगे गाना तो आप लोगों को थोड़ा आइडिया होगा.
हेल्पलेस बंदे की हाई टाइप है कि यार मतलब I know I don't have enough power to compete you, but that's not what seems
हाथ तेरा मट्टी का है फिर भी आग को थामे तू है बैठा. तो it's like it's crazy, like why the fuck are you holding fire when you know that it's going to burn you? But man is everything. Science is the
man. end वाला जो outro वाला जो refrain है,
रोता है
आसमान रुक जा जरा, मतलब कोई तो
प्लीज
लिमिट हो,
कोई तो लिमिट हो यार. मतलब क्या लगे पड़े सारे.
बट जो देखने में आ रहा है कि seemingly there is no limit, there is no cruelty and oppression.
True.
So but khair, so talking about musically a bit more, like what was the kind of, did the music come first or the lyrics came first?
I think he wrote the song with an acoustic guitar. He had a progression, he bring it to the band. और हम लोगों ने फिर उसका jam किया. I think पहले ही jam में the intro lead figured out कि हमें ये बनानी चाहिए. It was a bit different, but what I do कि मैं चाहता हूँ कि मैं इसको सुन रहा होता हूँ कि यार क्या idea fit हो रहा है. So I think it was a mix up of like 1-2 ideas.
And during jam I was playing a lick. तो
जो bass lick थी, that was his bass practice that he was doing in the jam.
उसमें फिट आ गई.
हाँ इससे बोला नहीं यही
तो स्केल में लेकर आया कि यार
इसको यहाँ पे बजा.
Actually playing this random riff कर रहा था. We were just standing there with a मैंने कहा रुक जा रिवर्स क्या सीन बजा.
इसको शीशा पे लेंगे.
इसको शीशा पे.
अच्छा सही है. फिर
वहाँ पे डन ये हो गया.
अच्छा मजे की बात है शुरू से कोरस में की चेंज तुमने बनाया हुआ था.
Yeah.
That's quite
It was
different.
always there.
मतलब ज़्यादा लोकल सीन में म्यूजिक में नहीं सुनाई देता कि कोरस में एकदम की चेंज.
It's G sharp and G sharp major as well in the half of the first chord that changes.
Yeah.
So
the fun part is that I don't know these things.
That often keeps you free to go and
म्यूजिकल थ्योरीज होती हैं कुछ होती हैं. अब जैसे रिसेंटली अभी एक हम लोगों ने मेलोडी लिखी थी तो वो मैंने फोन पे गा के इसको भेज दी थी. आई वाज लाइक आई डोंट नो व्हाट कॉर्ड्स दीस आर बट आई लाइक दिस मेलोडी तो प्लीज सॉर्ट इट आउट. तो कुडोज गोस टू हिम बिकॉज़ ही सिट्स एंड ही लिसन्स एंड ही मेक्स श्योर कि क्या गा रहा है ये, क्यों गा रहा है ये, फिर ये पूरा सेंस लगा कर जो वो जब देता है तो इट्स दैट काइंड ऑफ थिंग. तो ही इज द मेजर ब्रेन्स. ये दो हैं बेसिकली. मैं बना के रख देता हूँ कहता हूँ प्लीज it's in your hands, do whatever you want to do. So it's Pardah ka major musical aspect इनकी तरफ.
Even when we came in the studio, then a lot of influences came from Umair for the second verse. The plucking that comes in. And you
actually that I was inspired by what I was going to come to Qamber. Actually added a lot of flavor to the song. The way he changes up into that hi-hat feel in the second verse.
And also big shout out to Qamber for being on board for this project. Qamber,
जो बात है.
You did a very
It's always fun playing with him.
Played really well.
How exactly he play things. So nice. और उसने इतना अच्छा structure दिया है drums को.
उसने बर्दाश्त किया सबसे बड़ी important बात है.
हाँ and I think also because
हमने ऐसा बैंड बर्दाश्त किया उसने.
Also because वो खुद भी एक स्टूडियो में काम करता रहा है तो he knows like often drummers जो हैं वो सिम्बल्स को पीट रहे होते हैं. इवन ऑन हेवियर सॉन्ग्स वो शेल्स को तो पीटना होता ही है बट सिम्बल्स को आप साथ पीटो तो फिर वो मिक्स में साफ सफाई नहीं आ सकती. So you have to be softer on the cymbals and harder on the shells, which he did on this song. That's why cymbals अच्छे definitions.
I think because he's also a songwriter. He understands it more than like a drummer. तो वो देखता है कि यार हाँ as a songwriter भी क्या चाह रहा है.
और as a drummer भी मतलब he has played good amount of time to put on a practice. Recordings में उसका कहते हैं gear और दूसरी बात मतलब what thing I like about him उसका अपना एक gear पूरा मेरी अपनी मर्जी की crashes का cymbals का set कि मुझे ये sound so he knows what thing produce what kind of sound.
The good part is he's a solid guy. He listens to you. It's very important कि communication हो. Communication अगर नहीं हो भले बहुत अच्छे player हो आप, but if you're not getting
there is no homieism, there is no bro code there तो फिर मसला होता है.
मतलब वो फिर issue हो जाता है. बंदा कहता कि यार.
No, but I think the major factor is having studio experience and being a songwriter yourself.
Exactly.
To serve the song basically.
Serve the song, बिल्कुल.
But आगे क्या plans हैं?
यार नए गाने hopefully नए गाने लिख रहे हैं, नए गाने लिखे हुए हैं. अब हमने ये प्लान किया है आफ्टर गुड 3 months नाउ कि अब हम लोग स्टूडियो में जाएं और ज़रा कुछ नए काम पे स्टार्ट करें. अभी तक हम जितनी दफ़ा भी जैम रूम में गए पहले ही फिगर आउट करना है कौन सा, बिकॉज ना अभी तक हम जितनी दफ़ा भी जैम्स में अभी स्टूडियो में गए या जैम हमने करने क्योंकि वी हैड फ्यू शोज लाइंड अप इन दिस ईयर तो वी हैड टू प्ले दोस. तो एवरी टाइम वी वेंट इनसाइड वी यूज्ड टू प्ले ऑल आवर सेट लिस्ट जो हम लोगों ने बनाई हुई डेजिग्नेटेड सेट लिस्ट फॉर अ शो. तो नए काम पे भी काम करने का हमें मौका मिला नहीं. अब पर्दा इज कमिंग आउट, वी हैव अ स्पेस कि अच्छा चलो एक गाना आ रहा है, इसके बाद वी नीड टू पुट न्यू स्टफ आउट देयर, वी कांट कीप प्रैक्टिसिंग आवर ओल्ड स्टफ. तो नया काम, नई चीजें और ना होपफुली नया साल.
When did you first hear about Aleph?
When did you first hear about it?
I heard it when I saw Takatak going here for recording.
Oh, yes.
And instantly I knew कि मतलब कुछ तो मुझे record करना है studio में. And मतलब I think there are very less studios. I mean very less. There's only one studio that has so much facility and equipment and everything that an analog musician needs. That's a very different thing for analog.
For a live session, this place is dope.
I mean, especially if I've just being a guitarist, I've kind of catered to guitar-based music. So, पर्दा में guitar-heavy composition है तो उसमें भी मज़ा हमें आया था in trying different guitars and seeing what works for the song.
Even के like you're a guitar player but you had the knowledge के यार अगर मुझे guitars record करने हैं तो drums, bass, everything has to be
sorted first.
So the drum room downstairs is I think a very a different one from the all the other studios, and I'm glad कि हमने वो वाला drum room use किया for Pardah.
Actually, let's talk about the tracking session.
Yeah.
First, what we did was there's your jam room, and we did a couple of sessions just practicing the song, making sure the arrangement was fine. And थोड़ा बहुत हमने काटा पीटी की.
In Australia, we got the demo vocals from Australia.
Yeah, exactly.
So
and we changed the structure a bit. थोड़ा redundant कुछ parts लग रहे थे.
It's a very fun story वैसे. Our production came into existence while I was studying in Australia, completing my masters, and I had a word with Umair कि यार ऐसा गाना है और ये scene है और ना मैं यहाँ हूँ और काम वहाँ करना है. And then he was like, track करके देख लेते हैं, let's just play the instrumental first. And then Mudassir, Mubashir and Qamber came into Aleph. And what happened next?
So we did instrumental recording informally in the jam room without like too many mics or anything like that. I think Zoom
the first one was on Zoom
पे ही की थी और उस पे तुमने और वो उसमें already we decided the tempo and everything
vocals के लिए
and then you sent us the scratch vocals.
Scratch vocals.
फिर हमने उसमें काटा पीटी की फिर कुछ ज़्यादा हमने काटा पीटी कर
बहुत ज़्यादा
फिर हमने कहा नहीं इसको थोड़ा ओरिजिनल
कंट्रोल सी करके वापस
there was a time जब कोरस हम कहीं और ही लेके जाना चाहते थे.
एक गलती से कॉपी पेस्ट में कुछ हो गया था और बिल्कुल सही चीज.
Yeah, exactly. I am still in favor of that thing.
वो रीमिक्स वर्जन हम निकाला.
वो भी क्या वर्जन था यार, वो भी क्या वर्जन होगा.
वीडियो देखिए if drums were one bar behind.
Yeah, उसमें यही हो रहा था कि मतलब कोरस पार्ट ड्रम्स पे पहले आ रहा था फिर गिटार्स आए.
वो entire composition सिर्फ एक बार से शिफ्ट हो गई थी. Like get dope, बहुत आला.
But yeah, then we basically did a drum, bass and guitar recording.
All in one.
जिसमें we ended up overdubbing the guitars and bass, but the important thing of that
recording.
Why I like to do that is the drummer can react to the guitar and the bassist, and you guys can react to him.
Exactly.
और एक वो
synergy synchronization पहली वाली जो थी, it was so good.
Yeah.
How was this experience working with Zarf? I'm going to take charge as a host for
Actually, I think for us,
मुझे बताएं क्या अलिफ का कैसा था. मिस्टर अनस आलम कैमरे के पीछे खड़े हुए. मिस्टर अनस आलम.
No, really great experience. I mean, for me, from an audio point of view, video point of view, this is like अगर कोई हमें पूछे ना कुछ अपना काम का sample भेजो तो अभी तो हम यही.
Yeah, that's very sweet.
It's like we're always learning and getting better, and this is now the pinnacle that we're at.
Yeah. Shout out to Mr. Anas Alam who's helping us release this particular song. Mr. Anas Alam. And thank you.
And Ali for the video.
Ali for the video. Ali बहुत fit video.
The whole Aleph crew.
The whole Aleph
team,
crew.
exactly.
And it was really fun for us to come here and work here. We had nerves, लेकिन they were very well catered, and we are really happy as musicians. It's a very dope facility, and we had really good time recording at Aleph. Umair Dar, Mr. Producer, is a really nice producer. So hire him, work with him. He is good.
Thank you.
And hopefully you guys will see our work on the 12th. And
12th of January.
12th of January
2024.
2024. Kicking off New Year's with a new single called Pardah.
Sounds good, man. Thank you. Like, share, subscribe. If you haven't heard their first album, check that out too. And we'll see you next time.
Bye-bye.